For many residents of the Northeast, especially those living along the coast, that anniversary is a painful reminder of how dangerous and damaging the storm was. Sandy was the second costliest hurricane in the U.S. right after Katrina, which all but wiped out New Orleans in 2005, claiming nearly 2,000 lives. So what have we learned from these fierce storms? Sheri Fink is the Pulitzer Prize winning author of 5 Days at Memorial about a New Orleans hospital during and after Katrina. She joins us now. Sheri, good morning.
Good morning.
What I found fascinating about your book is I thought it would be all about what happened. The first half is about what happened, and then the other half is like the moral dynamics, what decisions these doctors had to make. Why did you decide that part needed to be covered?
I think that we need to learn from difficult events, and so that whole looking back into history, looking forward into what we can learn, and also trying to remind people of these different moral values and ethics, and how do you balance them when it becomes a critical situation.
You've looked at Katrina, you've looked at Sandy. I mean, what can you say about the emergency response systems in this country right now?
Full of hardworking people who really care about this, but we've got a lot of vulnerabilities in our infrastructure. We saw that in New York City. We've got hospitals that are prone to flooding and losing power, and that's scary. And we need to do a lot of planning around that. We need to do a lot of planning as a community. All of us have an investment to make in preparedness.
You mentioned planning. Some hurricane-prone areas have upside-down hospitals. Basically, the infrastructure is on the roof instead of the basement, and emergency departments are on the second floor. I mean, is that how all hospitals should be designed and built?
I think the point is that we need to design and build according to the local hazards. And so that may be one solution that might be really helpful in certain areas. But the point is, even, we have submarines that go underwater. So we know how to protect infrastructure if we need to, even if it's on a lower level. And the point is we have the engineering capability, and it's all about, do we want to make these investments? And we saw what can happen when we don't.
Have we made improvements in the past year? I mean, if another hurricane were to hit the East Coast, are we better prepared?
We are a bit better prepared. There's been a lot of planning going on,
right.
But those really big infrastructure investments to protect our hospitals, our nursing homes, the backup power, that hasn't all been fixed yet. And so I think what I've been hearing from hospital and nursing home administrators is we would leave. We would evacuate. Now, you don't want to have to do that in a hurricane. That's dangerous for patients, but if your hospital, if your nursing home is really prone to losing power, then you have to make some of those tough decisions.
In your research, have you realized there's anything that we as people, as opposed to hospitals and structures, could do to be more prepared?
Absolutely. Have a plan, think through what's the likely problem in the area where you live, and prepare to look out for your neighbors, look out for people in your family who may not be able to drive, who may have health problems. Have a backup plan, know how you're going to communicate, and just be prepared. The FEMA has a ready.gov. That's a good place for people to go as well.
Sheri Fink, fascinating book. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.